Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman singing our top story. The Honorable Sonia Sotomayor, the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, is in the Virgin Islands after accepting an invitation to visit the territory in celebration of the Transfer Day Centennial. She appeared last night on St. Croix. Here are the highlights. The Honorable Sonia Sotomayor made her first appearance speaking on St. Croix Monday night.
I am feeling your welcome so deeply. I'm not just the first Latina on the Supreme Court. I am the first Caribbean Latina on the Supreme Court.
She is the first U.S. Supreme Court Justice of Hispanic heritage, assumed the position of Associate Justice of the Supreme Court on August 8, 2009, after being nominated by President Barack Obama. Her previous judicial appointments were on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit from 1998 to 2009 and the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York from 1992 to 1998.
In 2010, the Supreme Court hosted the Conference of Chief Justices in St. Thomas. And I, Justice Sotomayor, had just gone to the bench, and I wrote to her and asked her would she attend that ceremony. And as Judge Lewis said, she wrote back a very nice letter, which I recovered recently, in which she said that she had made a pledge to herself that for the first year on the bench, she would not accept any public engagements. But she left open the possibility that she would be available, and I'm glad that Judge Lewis was able to convince you to grace us with your presence.
I'm especially excited, not so much with you visiting with us, the elders, the adults, senators and justices and judges here in the Virgin Islands, but that you have welcomed to visit our...
The presence of your visit on the eve of our centennial is very significant given the many struggles Virgin Islanders have had over the last 100 years.
Sotomayor was presented with local gifts. Members of the Centennial Commission were introduced, as well as a centennial coin revealed, given to Judge Wilma Lewis.
I have here an official centennial coin. It is the first one minted. It recognizes all the islands and the 1917 to 2017, and it has Fort Christian, which will be open in time, thanks to all of the administration's hard work.
I just met you a few minutes ago, and I can tell just why you are so popular and your calendar is so filled with requests, because you are so warm and you are so engaging, and I like that.
We want you to know that as a people, we are extremely proud of you. We were honored when the President nominated you, and we were most pleased when the Senate confirmed you and you ascended to the Supreme Court of the United States. You are an example of the folks living in the territory that work hard to become full American citizens in this great nation, enjoy all of the privileges and rights, and also to fulfill our responsibilities as good citizens under the Constitution.
Every person in this room does something for this society. You are all active members of your community, trying to better the good of all of the islanders. You're the kind of people that inspire me to do what I do. Because of you, you're helping to make a better world. Not just for yourselves and your families, but for all families in our communities. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the warmest welcome I've received on any of the islands, including my own, Puerto Rico. And thank you.
The Honorable Sonia Sotomayor is appearing at the Cardiac Center at the Walawi Hospital this evening. Now on St. Thomas on Thursday, a UVI convocation will be held featuring Sotomayor from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. in the Sports and Fitness Center, then at Frenchman's Reef at 6 p.m. Plaintiffs from Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico, they are making an appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit that where you live shouldn't impact your right to vote for president. Now they will have some extra help after a new crowdfunding platform. CrowdJustice.org has selected the case to be part of its United States launch. Crowd Justice, originally founded in the United Kingdom in 2015, helps nonprofits raise funds for public interest lawsuits. People may donate to support We the People Project's voting rights advocacy at www.crowdjustice.org/right to vote. We the People Project is also advocating for a constitutional amendment which would provide full enjoyment of the right to vote to all of the nearly 5 million residents of the U.S. territories and the District of Columbia. Governor Mapp signed a proclamation calling for a special election to fill the vacancy in the 32nd Legislature of the Virgin Islands. The 32nd Legislature of the VI convened, as you remember, January 9, 2017, with 14 members, leaving one vacant seat. Virgin Islands law requires that the governor of the Virgin Islands call for a special election within 30 days of a vacancy. On Tuesday as well, the District Court of the Virgin Islands acknowledged that the revised Organic Act and Virgin Islands law contemplated a remedy for vacancies in the legislature and acknowledged that Governor Mapp is within his authority to call a special election to fill the vacancy. Count on to keep you updated. Senator at Large Brian A. Smith is hosting his first town hall meeting at the Cleone Henrietta Creaky Conference Room, 5:30 p.m. at the St. John Annex on Friday, February 10th. This meeting will give St. John residents an opportunity to express their interests, issues, and concerns that are affecting them. This is the Senator at Large's first town hall meeting. Senator Brian Smith is inviting the entire St. John community to come to the town hall meeting. For more information, you can contact Janice Ryan at 340-693-3624. Virgin Islands Delegate to Congress Stacey Plaskett met with congressional leadership and White House administration officials last week. We caught up with her to give an update on her thoughts on President Donald Trump. Here's more.
We've heard some things that give many of us here in the territory some concern. I was talking with people in the nonprofit sector as well as some of our government services about him moving funding to block grants. The Republicans also talking about reducing budgets in areas that are really critical to us, like social services, our food stamps, our Medicaid, our Medicare programs, after school and educational funding. That's of great concern to a lot of Americans, and particularly here in the territory, when we're already operating at on the margins in a lot of areas for our social safety nets. I've had discussions through organizations and caucuses that I'm a part with, particularly the New Dems Coalition. We met with our counterparts, other individuals in the Republican caucus. They're concerned that a lot of the rhetoric and some of the legislation that President Trump wants to bring forward will drive us apart, not allow us to work across the aisle and work with each other. So we want to move quickly on those things. I know that the president has talked a lot about transportation and infrastructure. My concern with that is that he has put no funding into that. His transportation bill just talks about tax credits and how do we as a territory incentivize developers to come when there's no funding that we can bring in those public-private partnerships. So there's a lot of trepidation, a lot of concern, but we're trying to find ways that we can work with the new administration. Particularly, I can work across the aisle with my colleagues to be supportive of issues that are important to the people of the territory.
Now, while Washington worried about a travel ban, former President Barack Obama was trying his hand at water sports. Jeannie Mose reports on his vacation in the British Virgin Islands.
He waved goodbye, flew away in a chopper. Next thing you know, he's flying a kite. Kite surfing, actually, in the Virgin Islands with a smile so big, one poster commented, he looks younger already. How was your weekend, was the caption comparing Obama's face to President Trump's. Tweeted another, wait, he's having fun? Is he allowed to have fun? Why isn't he saving us? He can't even save himself on the golf course. Where even an ex-president gets teased for missing putts. But why putter around with golf when there are exciting new water sports to master? Obama learned kite surfing while his host, Richard Branson, learned foil boarding, and when the two competed to see who could stay up longer, the former president won. If you're missing Obama and looking for the next best thing to a hug, here it is, dreamed up by an inventor in New Hampshire.
It's 28 inches fingertip to fingertip and will literally hug you.
Like many hugs, it can be awkward. Where exactly do you put the hand-painted illustration?
And of course, you can do the diagonal hug, right? Around the neck and the arm.
Peter Connors says he was devastated when Donald Trump won. He launched Obama Hugs and is now developing an app that lets you turn your own image into a hug, back and front. And while many may be missing Obama, does he look like he's missing them? Jeannie Moe, CNN, New York.
Meanwhile, President Trump is attacking those who are challenging his executive order travel ban. He read U.S. immigration law to a group of top police officers, saying even a bad high school student would agree with him.
If I find as president that a person or a group of people will be detrimental to the interests of the United States, and certainly there's lots of examples that we have, but you shouldn't even have them necessarily. He may be, and he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary. He may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary. So here it is. People coming in. Suspend the entry of all aliens, right? That's what it says. It's not like, again, a bad high school student would understand this. Anybody would understand this. Suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens. Okay, so you can suspend the aliens, right? You can suspend the aliens from coming in. Very strong. Or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate.
Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch with the New York Stock Exchange. We can see there the Dow down 35, NASDAQ and S&P up. Coming up on NEWS2, police need your help as they search for a missing woman. Plus, Black History recognition. Who was the African-American entrepreneur and philanthropist regarded as the first female self-made millionaire in America? That's coming up next. Welcome back. Innovative's business office and wireless retail store located at Tutu Park on St. Thomas closed at 11 a.m. today in order for the management to address maintenance issues at the facility. Dorothy Clary, who is the Chief of Customer Experience, announced that today, due to unforeseen circumstances, the management of Innovative Companies decided to close the Innovative business office at Tutu Park early. Normal hours for the business office and the wireless retail store will resume on Thursday, February 9th. Innovative apologizes for any inconvenience this may have caused its customers. Turning to crime reports, police on St. Thomas are requesting the community's assistance in locating a woman reported missing by her family. Natalie Domchenko, age 54, was last seen on Sunday, February 5th in the vicinity of Red Hook Ferry Dock at roughly 8 p.m. Further investigation revealed that Domchenko last spoke to her sister on Saturday, February 4th, and told her that she would be traveling to the island of Tortola and St. Croix on Sunday, February 5th, and has been unable to make contact with her since. Ms. Domchenko, a Caucasian woman, is 5'4" and weighs 200 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. Natalie Domchenko was scheduled to leave the island on Tuesday, February 7th at 2:30 p.m., but never made it to a flight. If you've seen Natalie Domchenko or have knowledge of her whereabouts, you're urged to contact the Virgin Islands Police Department Investigation Bureau at 340-774-5556 or extension 5557. You can also call the 911 Emergency Call Center or Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS. On February 3rd, about 6:45 p.m., officers traveled to the Myra Keating Smith Clinic relative to a rape. A female victim stated that on Thursday, February 2nd, at about 11:30 p.m., according to VIPD, she was walking to her vehicle, which she said was parked in the gravel parking lot across from the tennis court. The victim stated that while walking to her car, a male came from behind, held a gun to her head, and told her if she doesn't do what he says, he will hurt her. The victim further added that the male pushed her to the ground, raped her, and fled in an unknown direction on foot. If you have any information, please call law enforcement. Meanwhile, police say that a rumor that the East End rapist was arrested Monday at Starfish Market on St. John is false, according to St. Thomas St. John District Police Chief Jason Marsh. Marsh said officers responded to a report of a man who looked similar to the publicized sketch. Someone called and said they saw someone who fit the description. Police interviewed and released the man. No arrests have been made in that case. District Court Judge Raymond Finch on February 7th sentenced Carmelo Cruz Velez, 52, of Puerto Rico, to 46 months in prison for conspiracy to possess a controlled substance with intent to distribute. Before October 21st, 2014, Cruz Velez and his co-conspirators agreed to import cocaine into St. Croix and deliver it to others. Court records indicate on October 21st, 2014, his co-conspirators retrieved a mid-sea shipment of 71 kilograms of cocaine and brought it to St. Croix. Afterward, Cruz Velez, knowing of the plan, took possession of the cocaine and delivered it to another individual for transshipment to Puerto Rico. Also in the courts, District Court Judge Raymond Finch on February 7th sentenced Waleed Lang, 33, of St. Croix, VI, to 5 years of probation for unlawful mailing of a firearm. Judge Finch also ordered Lang to pay a fine of $500 along with a special assessment of $100. Court records indicate on or about February 15, 2014, Lang knowingly mailed a U.S. priority mail parcel from Florida to St. Croix. The parcel contained a Titan Tier 38 caliber revolver. Time for our Black History recognition. We remember Sarah Breedlove, known as Madam C.J. Walker, an African-American entrepreneur and philanthropist, regarded as the first female self-made millionaire in America. She made her fortune by developing and marketing a successful line of beauty and hair products for Black women under the company she founded, the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. In 1910, Walker moved to Indianapolis, where she established her headquarters and built a factory. She began to teach and train other Black women in order to help them build their own business. After the East St. Louis race riot, she joined leaders of the NAACP in their efforts to support legislation to make lynching a federal crime. Madam Walker was inducted into the Junior Achievement U.S. Business Hall of Fame at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago in 1990, the National Women's Hall of Fame in Seneca Falls, New York, the National Cosmetology Hall of Fame, and the National Direct Sales Hall of Fame, among others. Discover the diverse and plentiful agricultural offerings of the USVI and surrounding communities at St. Croix's 46th Annual AgriFest Agriculture and Food Fair that's coming up February 18th to the 20th. The UVI Cooperative Extension Service and the Agricultural Experiment Station invites the community to the annual fair, which will convene at the Rudolph Schultebrand Agricultural Complex at Estate Lower Love. UVI components will be participating in the exhibits by displaying their products and the services offered to the community. Displays will feature heart-healthy nutrition and diet tips, best practices and handouts, as well as other offerings. Virgin Islands Department of Education wishes to inform the public that a photo circulating on social media on Monday, February 6th, depicting a lunch tray containing macaroni, vegetarian beans, and applesauce did not originate from the cafeterias of any of the territory's public schools. The department's research indicates that the mentioned photo on social media originated from the cafeteria of a St. Thomas-based parochial school participating in the school lunch program. However, the school's kitchen management deviated from the authorized menu without notification. It is important to note, they say, that all students participating in the school lunch program may elect to accept or reject lunch menu items As a result, some lunch trays may contain more food items than others, based on the students' individual preference while being served in the cafeteria. Well, all eyes were glued to the television Monday night, and not just because Taylor Nolan wouldn't take no for an answer without setting the record straight with Nick Valls in week 6, season 21 of The Bachelor, but because the remaining women got the good news that they were going to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. While in St. Thomas, the group stayed at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort. Areas filmed included a helicopter ride to the preserve at Botany Bay for a date, a tour of Fort Christian and Annaberg ruins on St. John. The hit romance reality show airs on ABC. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Hopefully you had a great day today. As we look ahead at your nighttime hours, a lot of the moisture is staying off to our north, so we at least have that going for us right now. You can see the stream of moisture well off to our north. I don't expect any kind of wet weather as we get into tonight. So yeah, the rain is just off to the north and west. We'll take a peek at your forecast, what you can expect for tonight. It's going to be nice and comfortable out there. Overnight low temperatures will be in the low 70s with partly cloudy skies out there for tonight. As we look ahead at your Thursday, yes, we're getting closer to the weekend. Well, we're still going to have a couple of spotty showers possible. Pretty typical weather with the trades, 85 in St. John, some sunshine, but again, we could see showers at any time as we get through the afternoon. For St. Thomas on Thursday, very similar forecast here. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-80s, so nice and comfortable temperature-wise, and then we'll have to watch out for a passing shower through the afternoon. The forecast for St. Croix on Thursday, 85 degrees, some sunshine, and again into the afternoon followed by a shower or two. If you're heading out on the water, small craft, you do need to use caution out there. A little bit choppy. The waves are between 4 and 6 feet and the wind is out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots. That's for the Atlantic. The Caribbean, also very similar forecast here. The waves are between 4 to 6 feet and the wind is up to 15 knots. And once again, small craft will want to use caution out there on the water. The good news is the next couple of days we're going to see the trades dropping off here, so showers becoming less numerous as we get closer to the weekend. For your Thursday, some sunshine, again a shower in spots, and we'll still see a shower in spots as we head into the next couple of days, but less numerous approaching the weekend. Friday, 84 degrees, a couple degrees cooler as we head into your Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds, and I think Sunday will be the better of the 2 days this weekend with less showers. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you. Time for our News2 weather picture there by Sara Samuel of Ricardo Richards Elementary School, giving us this beautiful sunny picture there. Overall, nice scenery and nice choice of colors, Sarah. Thanks for brightening up our evening representing Ricardo Richards Elementary School. Send us your News2 weather picture to the address on the screen and then tune in to see it right here on News2. That is all for now. We'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Have a wonderful evening.